Hey you guys, it's the Rose Brown, and I just finished The Fault in Our Stars. This is the shortest time I've ever read a book. This book was so good, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm mind blown. I just finished this book and it was so good. The Fault in Our Stars is basically about the main character named Hazel, Grace Lancaster, and she has a form of cancer where it's hard for her to breathe in her lungs. Like I think she has lung cancer or something wrong with her breathing. And she meets a guy when she goes to the support group named Augustus Waters, and she calls him Gus because we find out that his parents, call him Gus. And so it's just his love story, and you guys, it really touched my heart, and it's beautiful, and I am in love with these characters. I cannot tell you how much this story really made me feel. It's so good. Oh my gosh, I've just been mind blown away, and I can't believe that it was so good. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so good. I'm kind of depressed because the ending of the story made me kind of sad, but it made me happy too, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, John Green really made me feel some type of way, and it was so good. You guys, it only took me 2 days to read, and you guys, it was so good. Oh my gosh, this love story was so good, and I loved it so much, and I'm really touched by these characters and how they developed, and it was surprising at the end. It was surprising because I would not think that this would happen at the end, and I was just so happy, so sad, so heartbroken, but oh my gosh, you guys, this book was great. When I first read the book for the first time, I was not really, enjoying it, because when I read at night, 11 o'clock or 10 or 9 o'clock, I really start to get sleepy and I fall asleep on the book, and I just do not get into the book. I did not like how long the chapters was, because it was 20 pages in each chapter, and it was just oh my gosh, why can't it just be 10 pages or 8 pages, because I just, it was just a little bit too long for me. Because of the chapters was so long, but it was great and I really enjoyed it. You guys, I'm really sad right now because this book really was so good. It touched my heart, and I did cry on this book. I really did cry, and it was really good, and I really enjoyed this book, and oh my gosh, this book is just so great. This book just follows their love story, another star-crossed lover story again, I think. This story was so good, you guys. Oh my gosh, it was so good, and I loved it so much. It was so good. I'm trying not to get emotional because this book was so good, and I really loved it, and I love the characters, and I like how they talk so smart, and they were so funny, and I just love them, and I was oh my gosh, this story is so good, and oh my gosh, you guys, this story is it's so good. My favorite character in this story was Hazel Grace. I loved her so much. Oh my gosh. You guys, she was such a great character. She was so smart. She was just mind-blowing, and I loved how much I compared to her. I loved how she talked so sophisticated, and I was oh my gosh, I love her so much. I love how she raved about books, how she was a book reader, and I was oh my gosh, Hazel, oh my gosh. This story has a lot of funny parts, and it has a lot of sad parts, and it just has a lot of dramatic parts, and it's so great overall, you guys. I gave this book 5 stars on Goodreads because this book definitely deserves a 5-star. I love this book so much, and hopefully when the movie comes out, Shailene will rock this part because she's a great actress. I seen it from Divergent and I cried. I'm gonna see it from Fault in Our Stars and I'm gonna cry. And hopefully the guy who played Trish's brother in Divergent, that's playing the main character, Augustus Waters, in The Fault in Our Stars, will be so good, because this book is really good, you guys. And if you haven't read this book, and if you do not like the first couple of chapters, you should try this book, because this book, I feel is for everyone who loves contemporary books. Not even contemporaries. You just gotta love any kind of book, really, that deals with love. I'm sorry, but the non-spoiler section is over. Sorry, you guys. Bye, non-spoilers. Bye. If you haven't read the book, leave now because I do not want to ruin this for you because it's so good. If you haven't read this book, please leave. I'm so serious. Like, please leave because this book is worth reading. It's only 312 pages. It's worth it. So, bye. Enjoy the book. Hopefully, you'll love it as much as I did. Okay, so when Augustus died, oh my gosh, you guys. I cannot believe that he died and Hazel did not die. I was coming into the story expecting that somebody did die, but I did not know it was going to be Augustus. Oh my gosh, you guys. It was so terrible and I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that he died. Oh my gosh, like, you guys. This is really killing me. Y'all know I love contemporary. Y'all set me up for failure because I'm sad. This book was so good. This book was one of the greatest books I've ever read. I love this book. It's so good. Like, I have nothing to say about this book because it was great. And oh my gosh, I love when they went to Amsterdam and they went to Orange. And it was just so good, and they had champagne even though they're cancer patients, and they had so many benefits being cancer patients, being able to do what they wanted to do. And I love how even when Augustus was really, really sick in the hospital, he still had the time to get out and have fun and everything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love him so much, and I love their relationship so much. There was one time when I thought that he was about to die when he was trying to get his pack of cigarettes and he was in the car and he needed a G something, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna hold him, he's gonna die, and he's going up everywhere, and oh my gosh, it's just gonna be crazy, and I'm just about to cry right now, and I'm just so sad, you guys, so sad. I was kind of angry because I did not know what chapter I was on because I was reading an audiobook plus reading the book at the same time, and so I flipped through the next chapter and I saw that it said that Augustus died, and I was like, oh my gosh, spoiler, I spoiled my own self. And I was really angry because I was expecting myself to just bawl out crying, even though I did cheer up. I was just like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe he died. Why? I thought he was gonna get better. I don't know, like, this is just terrible. I absolutely loved the plot to an Imperial Affliction. If that book was real, oh my gosh, I would buy that book so bad because that book seems so good, and the freaking author who wrote that book was really pathetic. I was really annoyed with him, and he just needed to get his life together because he was a freaking annoying alcoholic, you guys, like so annoying. I'm thinking that after this story had ended that Hazel died a couple years after or a couple months after, I'm not sure, but the character in this story reminded me about the girl that's in Bates Motel, the TV show, if you've watched it before, that has that kind of disease. I don't think she has cancer, but she has that kind of breathing disease, and it reminded me a lot about her. And you know, I feel like Hazel died a couple years after, or a couple months after, you know, this story ended, so it's kind of sad, but it's beautiful. I love the ending of this book. It was so great, you guys. I love this book so much. Oh my gosh, like, I'm just mind blown, like, oh my gosh. Well, that's all I really have to say about The Fault in Our Stars. If you haven't read the book, then you should have been left because this is the spoiler section and you're really pushing it, okay? Other than that, this was a great book and I really loved it, and I'm really sad that, what had to happen happened, and I just love this book. This is a 5 out of 5 stars. This will be one of my favorite books ever, and I definitely will buy it because this is the library collection, and ew, no. But I'm gonna leave off saying I love you, I love you, I love you. Comment, rate, subscribe. Thank you. Bye.